Hi, and welcome to Take a Beat. My name is Thierry, and I'm the digital pastor here at IES. And this is the opportunity where these guys make me not able to concentrate. But this is the time when we take a beat and pause and reflect so that it can fuel us in continuing in our daily walk with the Lord. So I have some very interesting people here. So there's Josh, Volta, and Thierry.
Yay.
And so they're all part of the IES staff. So how about you introduce yourselves?
All right. When I start us off, hello everybody. My name is Josh, and I'm the teens pastor here at IES Teens. I went to IES since I was a child. I was a teenager, and I'm the teens pastor here. So yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Volta. I'm the missions coordinator at IES.
Yeah.
You're next.
And my name is Thierry. I do work with preteens. I've only been here for a year, and then I do whatever else that is out there to do from Pastor Mike, Pastor Dave, whatever I'm asked, pretty much.
You're awesome, Thierry.
Yes.
Flexible.
We're glad that you're here. And where are you from?
That's a good question.
Not from around here.
Someone signaled me to say I'm from Wakanda, but
If you don't know, Pastor Anthony is behind the camera.
but I did grow up in Rwanda most of my life, and then my family moved to the States about 10, 11 years ago. Yeah, and then I lived in Jakarta, so yeah.
So these are the single people. Anyone who's dating currently?
Are you?
That's good, bro. That's good.
Not right now. Anyone?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So we are going as a church family. We are going through this theme of stronger families, and so part of the conversation is we've talked a lot in service about marriages and like parenting, and so as single people, how do you process all of these conversations on marriages and things that maybe don't relate to us at this present moment in life?
I think it's been good just hearing different perspectives from different people, from the different pastors of IES, and it's a good time to take note of some of these things. I remember a few weeks back, Pastor Dave mentioned that how the greatest legacy you leave your children or your family is their faith. Mm-hmm. And yes. I remember seeing it on Instagram, or IES reposting it also, and I was just like, this is so true, because I remember my dad always said that growing up, or that was his kind of like, I would have conversations with him, he's like, you know what, my greatest legacy that I leave when God calls me home, and he is home now, is that my children journey with Christ, and they know who he is, and not only know who he is, but are in relationship with him. And just this faith aspect, I think, like in terms of family, I think it's family dynamics can be interesting, but I think when there's that foundation at faith and in Christ, it makes a huge difference. And so speaking as a single person, just being reminded of that whatever you're going to build later on in life needs to make sure that the foundation is right. If I try to build something up, but the foundation, the starting point itself isn't right, I'm only going to run into trouble, or it's not going to end up working out. So for me, that was just a good reminder. And being a single is kind of like, the foundation really does matter. Too many times we get ahead of ourselves and quickly want to build without really figuring out what the foundation is.
And I think like this is the opportunity, the time where like we have the time and the energy to actually work on the foundations, to work on ourselves, and how I think the Pastor David Stanislaus was talking about, like, you know, you need to be healthy individuals coming into a relationship, and so this, I feel like this is also the time when you work on your own health.
I would say the same. I like what Pastor Josh said, that it's a really good time to take notes. We're learning a lot, and people who are married, they have a reference. We don't, which is a good thing, that we can just notice things that maybe they're emphasizing, that we need, that take intentionality. Once you have a family, then we can knock that down. And also what Pastor David and Paula Stanislaus said, that a family is composed by healthy individuals, and maybe this series is meant to help us as single people to build our spiritual health, our physical health, our emotional health, so that in the future, whatever God has for us in the future, we are already healthy individuals.
That's right.
Agree.
Agree?
I agree. Yeah. Because for me, it's like it's give me more chance to learn about responsibility as a single. Like serve, ministry others, and
How to do laundry.
yeah, like that.
Come on.
Be responsible to myself. Yeah.
Maybe just to chime in there, like responsibility as a single. I think many times when we're single, we kind of tend to think like, I'm single, so I can do whatever I want.
Right.
But really, like, as singles, we should be using this time, even as singles, to really grow ourselves and develop ourselves and learn. So this mindset of just like, oh, single, woohoo, wee, like, whatever, is not really.
Yeah.
Or even like, I think being completely present in the season that we're in, because there are a lot of things, a lot of ministry opportunities, a lot of even personal experience opportunities that we can have while we're single that we can't, or maybe not can't, but it's just a different season when later on we're all married, have kids and things like that. And so I think there's beauty in the season.
Yeah, I will also like stronger families. I mean, we're part of families. Even though we're single, we have parents, we are brothers. We're brothers to our siblings. We're kids to our parents, aunts and uncles, and all that. It's family, so we can always be a better son, better brother. Yeah,
Better uncle.
yeah, better uncle.
And the thing that we probably don't talk about in service a lot, this series is about dating. So let's talk about dating a little bit. This was
Should we leave Josh for this?
Actually, I wanted to ask this question. This question isn't part of my question list, but this was a question that Pastor Anthony gave. What is a great first date for all of you?
Wow. Let's go, bro.
Man, can you go first? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it would depend on the person, whatever they enjoy doing. Maybe I like hiking, or I wouldn't mind going to a nice place to eat and have a nice conversation.
I'm probably with you more on number 2. I don't know about the hiking in nature. But yeah, I love food.
Come on, you go to Bali all the time.
Yeah, in a hotel. Outside in nature.
You can take a walk on the beach or something like that.
I could, but not in Jakarta, bro.
I see.
And so I think I think, like I said, like if I met somebody who we have common interests in, and probably one of my main interests is food. I love to eat, and so if we could share a meal at someplace nice, it doesn't need to be fancy or anything. Preferably not too crowded, so we can actually have a conversation, and preferably AC.
I think for me, it's definitely not movies because I like being able to talk
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
And so something like
Coffee,
coffee
yeah.
or food, I love food, is good because I feel like if it's like movies, then you're just sitting there like watching, or some people fall asleep in movies. and then you don't actually talk, you don't actually get to know the person.
Right.
You get to know the movie.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, just not.
Did Volta say it?
I love coffee date.
Coffee.
date.
So are you more a daytime dater instead of a dinner, or is that do you think that's a safer approach to do? I feel like sometimes when people say like coffee is safer than going straight for like
Yeah.
a dinner.
Because coffee, actually, I used to tell teens this. Coffee is good because it can be as short or as long.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing if you're dating someone you've already
No.
Right. It started with friendship or anything, or it's like a blind date. Like you don't know if this is gonna be good or this is gonna be like Lord help me bad.
Probably if you're boring like me, you don't put yourself in those situations.
You're not boring.
Has any one of you been on a blind date? Yes. Who?
No.
Never again. I have been once. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, another question, dating related. Dating apps.
Wow.
Yes or no? I want to ask Volta.
Oh, I already uninstalled. all
So
the
you
dating
installed
apps.
it, though.
Why?
Yeah.
Interesting.
For me, it's
Oh, for some reason I thought he said Instagram.
Uninstall?
Or
It's not a
like,
dating
did you like
It is.
using it? Did you not like?
Not really, because I'm too tired to like swipe, look at the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
After that, and when we met and we went to like GBK and jogging date and.
Who is this?
There's one girl. But
Do we know, this? Do we know this person?
no, you don't know the person.
In Quebec?
Quebec.
But I'm not active in sport, so I get tired.
You're pretty good futsal. I played with you.
I used to be a good player, but no, you
Yeah.
can see.
No.
it's like-
Okay, dating app. Yes.
Yes
no,
or
why?
no?
Like for me, no.
Yes, but no.
No.
For
No,
me, I think I'm just like an old school,
Yeah.
old soul kind of guy. Like I said, I have tons of friends who do it, and there is no judgment whatsoever if people do it. But I can't bring myself to the point where I would just upload a profile of myself
Yeah.
and it's
It's kind of wasting time for me to introduce yourself again and again to
Different people.
different people.
Did you have a template?
No.
Hi, my name is Volta.
You know, it's like a CV. You know,
Yeah.
you save it on your computer.
Can I just give you my LinkedIn profile?
Yeah.
I think
it's one of those things. It's for some people,
Yeah.
and then for other people's personality, just
I
doesn't.
actually get anxious, like,
I see.
and so like meeting over like on like dating apps, like I get anxious. Actually, this past year, when I was in the States, so not in Jakarta, I was on one of the dating apps, and I actually got really frustrated. Not that I didn't meet people, I did meet people, but a lot of the times too, even when they said, okay, my profile's Christian, but like, it's like, oh, it's the hookup culture as well. And so trying to filter that out in your interaction was just so exhausting for me.
I see. But I know really quite a few friends who've gotten married from
Yeah.
dating apps, so it does work for.
There's no judgment
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Yeah.
I
Agree.
can't.
There is
Yeah.
no judgment.
No, I'm the same way. I'm guess I'm old school. I mean, I
Old
get
school.
anxious looking at
There's a
Instagram.
bunch of
We're old
old
school.
school.
Bring us some youngins to join this conversation.
Yeah, but I think like I kind of just wanted to segue about actually like dating, because there's in all of our lives, in anything that we do, there's like being aligned to God's way versus not, which means that when we date and meet people and get to know people, I feel like there is also a way where we date in alignment with like God's way of doing things. So what are some of those boundaries? What does that look like to each of you personally?
I'm not sure if I understand the question, but
Interpret it any way you want.
the way I understand it, I think the boundaries, I guess it's if of course someone has to be a believer. That's important for me. I guess it's important for every Christian. Someone has to be a believer, and if it's someone that I can see myself getting along in normal life, and we have pretty much our important values align up, I think, that should work for me.
Yeah.
Go, Josh.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Like, obviously, I mentioned earlier, I think, again, I don't know if this is boundaries or not, but like I said, like, if there was would she be a potential or not? If she is not a believer, I wouldn't entertain the idea, no matter how beautiful, no matter how many things we have in common, just because that is my number one priority.
Yeah.
And I can very easily switch into, well, maybe somewhere down the line, or I can change her. She's gonna fall in love with Jesus through this relationship. But that's not the right approach going into it, And so I think obviously like values. As much as because I always feel like when you're in a relationship, it's the two of you.
Yeah.
But I think obviously family dynamic, what kind of family that person comes from, because I'm very close to my family, is important. And then obviously just also being, I think in terms of boundaries, as being a man of integrity, and once you're in that relationship, making sure that your boundaries are in place from the start. Being in teens ministry, you've been in teens ministry, I've been in teens ministry, and oftentimes when we converse with these teenagers, it's like, oh, we're only going as far as we're comfortable, and that's a very dangerous.
I don't even know what that means.
Zone to be in.
Teens.
Just like making sure that you have guardrails in place when it comes to the intimacy, the physical aspect of it. Most churches don't talk about it, but here at IS we talk about these things. And if you've crossed the line or the boundary, you've already crossed it. We always say, So
if you are asking how
far is too far?
How far is too far? You're looking in the wrong direction.
That's right. So,
preach, y'all.
I completely lost my train of thought.
Volta, what are some of your boundaries
terms of? I agree with both of you, like believers, and she's a believer. But when I meet someone who's not believer, I can consider she as a friend. Yeah.
What if you fall in love with a friend?
No, that's my boundaries is believer. That's the
believer.
Yeah.
Okay. Missions coordinator. You're not missionary dating.
No, I'm not good at that.
Maybe he's the only one qualified because he's a missions.
He's on a mission.
He's on a mission.
Also, I sit here and I realize that I'm the only female talking to a bunch of guys.
Hey, sorry.
I don't even know what I was talking about now. Dating, yes. Oh, the other day, it's funny because I was talking about this app that we have for our church center app. For some odd reason, PD thought that I said church Tinder app, and he's like, "We have a church Tinder app." I'm like, no.
Church Tinder, that'll be interesting.
Part of his online expansion.
Church was church Tinder.
No.
TikTok, Instagram, and Tinder.
Church Tinder.
My imagination is working.
I think like just asking you, like what kind of family do you want? Not just like in the future, but like, because we talk about stronger families. Like, what kind of family? It's for me, one of the things that I love about my family, my parents. You've met my parents. It's about like just we serve at the pleasure of the King. That's like the whole outlook. So when you're talking about like values, and,
Right.
That's for me, my family is going to serve the Lord.
Yeah.
It might not
Absolutely.
be like, oh, that person needs to be a pastor or like a missionary, but there is a completely different outlook when you are in ministry, and a different priority, different way of loving people, or maybe not loving people, but making room for people. That is very ingrained in my family, and that's something that I want my family, when I have my own family, to like that be the
Yeah.
core of it. How about you?
I think for me, like I said, going back to what Petey mentioned, what my dad would always say, you know what, the foundation needs to be Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Whether you're in ministry or not, the goal is, or the desire is that as a family, we follow Christ together. You know, and I think one of the things I think that I have learned, God has blessed me with amazing parents and an amazing family, and it's a big family. There's 5 of us. I'm constantly being reminded that God created each and every single one of us uniquely different. And although we all have the same kind of like values and core values as a family, it's about learning to appreciate one another's differences and loving that person for who they are,
Without
Right.
trying to change
without
them.
trying to change who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there isn't only one way, or like my way of doing things, or my way of thinking is the only
Yeah.
way. And I, as much as it drives me crazy in my family at times, because we're such a diverse and colorful bunch, it's also what I love.
Yes,
Yeah.
Caleb,
Yeah.
he's talking
And
about you.
no, I mean everybody. I mean
No,
they
I'm
probably
kidding.
say the
Love
same
you,
thing
Caleb.
about me, you know. But it's the fact that we can love and appreciate and accept those differences, and I think
Yeah.
that is we're able to do that, as challenging as it is at times, because of Christ's love, or how
Yeah.
he loves us first, you know. So being able to love like Christ loved, where it's not, even if we're different about things, it's
Yeah.
I will still love you. It's not that, oh, you don't see the things the way that I do,
Yeah.
I can't love you that.
Yeah.
There's this, the title of a musical, actually. It's called I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. And I think, like, when you were saying that, I was like, you know what? I love being able to, like you were saying, appreciate and celebrate the differences and how God created us uniquely different, without trying to superimpose my idea of things onto you or whoever.
Yeah. But I think I probably were sidetracking, but we most of the times as individual, that's a really good intentions, but most of the times we say regarding of us, when other people don't accept us, that's when I think it's much more harder to realize that you are not accepting other people than when other people are not accepting you.
Yeah.
And then when we're having this, like we're talking like this, it's really tough. It's really tough to, because you don't know that other people think differently until you live it through the experience, and you start maybe not accepting them or rejecting them subconsciously until a while, and then you realize, man, I'm not going to change this person.
Yeah.
So it's not as cut and dry. Oh, I accept other people just as they are. Well, it's a nice thing to say, and we all
Yeah.
want to be like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little much more complicated.
We're working
than-
towards that.
Yeah.
By the way, if you missed it, Thierry did a message not too long ago on accepting one another. So you can go to our IS Church YouTube and look it up. It's a really good message. You don't want to miss it.
Yay.
But yeah, I'm just doing plugins here and there.
I like that.
Check it out.
What was the question again?
Actually,
Values.
Values. Oh yeah. You said, "My family shall serve the Lord," and yeah, I would say the same. For me, being a Christian is a good thing. It's awesome, but for me, serving the Lord is the next step, and the potential other person is gotta be there. Someone who's a Christian, of course, that's very, very commendable and a good thing. But I want to serve the Lord. I've chosen that my life I will spend it serving the Lord, and I would. Yeah, I think it's a good idea that the other person, at least they know that that's how my life is going to be like. And if they're along, that's good. But at least they have to know and accept it for that. And I'm sure they would come with their own also. Maybe they feel God led me to do business or something else. But at least we both have an understanding of what we feel like God has for us doing in this life. And then we learn how to be one and different.
I agree.
Thoughts, Volta?
I think like my future family shall serve the Lord also, and accept other people too, but not only accept themselves, but accept their vulnerability, like that. Because for me, the goal of marriage is not on happiness, but as a family, we're working out our salvation together.
Whoa,
Yes.
dude.
Okay.
Okay, I think they're already telling me we're out of time. So on that note,
He's a missions director.
I don't know if any of you got anything out of that conversation. We at least had fun. But thank you for joining us in this conversation. We would love to hear from you, comment, or
If you want us back, let us know.
Yes, we'll have you back at some point.
Fill in the comment section.
Follow our Instagram.
Yes. They're just doing the promoting for me. But thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week for Take a Beat.
Like and subscribe, Josh.
That's right.